Hi everyone, welcome back to another PDQ Today I want to address some questions I've had from people over the last week about screen readers. And I've got a couple of screen readers here that I'm going to show you that you're welcome to use. They are both available from the Chrome Web Store. They are both free and you can attach them to Chrome just like you do any other extension. But when I looked at screen readers, and what screen readers are is they are just what they say. When there's text on a screen, you can click on it and it will read the text to you. And this is good for students who are having problems reading. It can be good for folks who are having vision problems. It can be good for ENL students that need a little bit of extra assistance. It can even be good for young kids who need just a little help with fluency and listening to reading in a fluent manner. So I've picked a couple here and I've based them on a few different things. The first one is they have to be free. And by free, it's free that you can use forever, even if it doesn't have all the options. That's called freemium. You can use the free version forever, but you can upgrade if you want. The second is it has to read web pages, PDFs, and Google Docs. And the third is they're not accessibility apps. Now, accessibility apps are for students that have very limited vision and they need to use that as an accessibility thing. Those programs do a lot more, and quite frankly, my mother was visually impaired, and for a sighted person using those programs, it's a lot more difficult to use than for a person that has the limited sight. So I've only limited it to screen readers. So what I have here is a couple of those, and I've got them here on the screen. The first one is the Natural Reader text-to-speech. And if you go to the web store and search for that, this box here will say add to Chrome. You will click on that and it will add it up here to your extensions bar. And I've eliminated all my other extensions today except for just a couple so they're easier to see. But the little N here is the Natural Reader text-to-speech. And then the other one is Read Aloud, and also a text-to-speech, and that's the little megaphone here. And I've chosen both of these because they have such a simple interface. They have a few options that you can use, but it's for the most part pretty simple, and it's pretty simple to operate. What I want to do is I want to show you both of them reading a web page, a PDF, and a Google Doc, and just to show you a little bit about the differences. So I'm going to start with a website, and I'm going to choose the Office of Department of Education website for you to take a look at. Now I'm going to click this first one, and it is the Natural Reader, and you will see what it does is it scrolls down the page and it reads the main body of text. It will not read these menus on either side. It won't read the images. But let me click on that and show you how it works. So when I click on it, it will bring up this control panel here, and if I click these arrows, it will bring it down to the bottom. They both do the same thing. I'm going to bring it back up here, and then I'm simply going to click the button to read. And then if I want, I can click through it, and I'll do this once she starts talking. I can click through and select the sections I want read. So here we go.
Office of Teaching and Learning, Digital Learning. The Office of Teaching and Learning's digital learning team is focused on supporting educators in the development of new digital learning models. Indiana Department of Education has partnered with Indiana University to make available our Teaching in a Digital World webinar series supports teachers in their utilization of digital learning, whether remote, in the classroom, or hybrid.
So you can see by that, as I clicked forward through it, it jumped to wherever it was that I double clicked. Now this one also has a little bit of advantage when you are in other documents or sites. If you select some text and you don't have it open, or even if you do, it opens up this little set of headphones, and you can click on that and it will read just what you have selected. So it's good for other programs as well. So that's how it reads a web page. But you notice it didn't jump over here to read these, and it didn't read your menus. So let me close that one. And I'm going to open up the
Evolving Digital Learning.
I'm going to open up the other program and the Read Aloud, and it works a little bit differently because it opens in a new window and puts only the text in the window. Sometimes this makes it easier for kids to focus on what it is they're reading. So let me jump up here to the top of this page just so I start in the same place. I'm going to click on that.
Office of Teaching and Learning, Digital Learning. The Office of Teaching and Learning's digital learning team is focused. The continuously evolving digital learning toolkit provides resources. Indiana Department of Education has partnered with Indiana University to make a
On that one, you can see that it opens it in a page by itself. And I did the same thing on that one. I clicked forward through it a little bit to select where it is I want it to start reading. Alrighty, let me click off of that. That's how it reads a web page. Let me jump now to let me go to a PDF. And this is a PDF. It's opened in preview mode. One of these, when I open, I believe it's the Natural Reader, will ask you to open it in a Google Doc, but you don't have to, and you'll see how that works in a second, I hope. I was just going to read it. So I'm going to click the play button, and it doesn't allow you to jump forward and scroll, but it does read the page pretty well.
How do I sign up for a Canvas account as a parent? Canvas recently introduced a new page design called the New Canvas User Interface UI. This lesson may include 2 images for specific steps to show the difference between the 2 designs.
And like I said, it reads it pretty much the same way, but it doesn't allow you to forward through it. Now when I select the Read Aloud, it acts the same way as it did on the web page in that it opens the text in a new window.
How do I sign up for a Canvas account as a parent? Canvas recently and parents, observers can link their Canvas account to Notes, observers will create a Canvas account using the institution's Canvas URL.
Now on that one you can see it opened it in the new window, but it did allow the clicking through of the sections of the text, so it's a little bit more flexible in that regard. And finally, I'm going to show you, this is a Google Doc. I will jump here to the beginning of the Google Doc. I will open the Natural Reader. Same idea.
Gettysburg Address. 7 years ago our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition. But, in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and
that's very much like the way it reads a PDF. Let me close this one and show you how the Read Aloud app handles it. I'll go back to the beginning.
Gettysburg Address. 7 years ago our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition.
You can see how that works. It's all pretty similar in the way that it operates on the text, and it's pretty easy to use. I will show you one more thing here on both of these. That is the settings, to show you what settings are available. This is the Read Aloud, since I already had it open. You can change the speed of the reading, which I find this handy because sometimes the reading is slow enough that my mind tends to wander, so I'll speed it up just a little bit and it helps. You have some choices of voices in here, what kind of voice you want to hear, and you can choose those. There's some shortcut keys, the keyboard shortcuts that you can use if you're one that likes to use those. Close that.
Gettysburg Address.
And in the Natural Reader, the settings have pretty much the same option. Here, though, it's a little bit easier to see what's free and what's premium. Really, the only advantages to the premium are some recording tools, and you get some more voices. But you see you have the option to switch voices. Over here, you can switch the speed. You can determine how it highlights, what the panel will do, so forth. And this is for shortcuts. And then this is about the little icon that I showed you when you are in other programs. So those are 2 screen reader programs that you can use in your classroom. Feel free to use either one. There are many, many others. You might want to play around with those and see what features you like. Hope this is helpful to you, and it's something you can use in your class. And as always, have a great day.